Women and Technology. That's our Techstination. I'm Fred Fishkin. Remember Beanie Babies? They went viral before there was such a thing. With us is a woman who helped to make that possible, Lina Trivedi. Hi, Lina.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Well, you have a wonderful story to tell, including the invention of the Beanie Babies website.
Yeah.
Tell us the story here.
I'm still wrapping my mind around it because to me, it's something that I did and it's a part of me in a lot of ways. I'm wrapping my mind around how it's affected the world around me. And that is something that the movie that's coming out and some of these documentaries that have been done in the past have been helping me understand that. I truly was in a bubble while I was creating what I created, because when you think in your mind the stereotype of someone who's building this massive machine on the internet, and they're doing it essentially on their own. In my situation, I was doing it with my little brother. You would envision in your mind a kid. I was just a kid at the time. I was 19 and then going into my early 20s. And I really was just sitting at a computer a lot of times in my parents' house or on a campus or even at the Thai office. My work area was in a little corner of the warehouse. So I was truly, literally in a bubble. So I didn't necessarily understand or comprehend how what I was doing was affecting people, even at that time. The very first time that I even got a glimpse of what I was doing and how it was affecting people was one time, and this was years into the craze. My brother and I, we were going to a birthday party and we went to the mall and we had to buy a gift for a kid. And we went into this gift store, and this gift store just got this massive shipment of Beanie Babies. And I remember me and my brother were just standing there speechless, just taking in all of this activity of people picking up these Beanie Babies and reading the poems, reading them aloud to each other and laughing and giggling and yelling across the way, oh my gosh, there's a bee, or oh my gosh, there's a zebra, or whatever. And we were just standing there, and I remember looking at my brother and be like, should we just get a Beanie Baby? A lot of people ask me, what was that like? And I just feel like I had this idea of what I wanted to create, and I knew the idea would be awesome. And it took so much to create it. I remember working 20-hour days sometimes, just pulling all-nighters, sometimes 2 days in a row to accomplish some of the things that we were doing, and not really having a grip on how it was affecting people around me.
So what was your role actually? And was it strictly the website or creating the Beanie Babies and getting them out there? How did this all come together?
I started working there as a telemarketer. So that's how my journey in Thai began. I answered an ad in a newspaper because that's what we did back then. We opened up the newspaper. I needed a job. I had just moved from the city into the suburbs back at my parents' house, or no, I wasn't at my parents' house. I had an apartment in the suburbs before I moved to my parents' house. And I needed a job that was close. And Thai had an ad in the paper and they were looking for a telemarketer. And I went in, I interviewed and got the job on the spot. I didn't even know it was a toy company that I was walking into. And this was years before Beanie Babies even were developed. So my job started as a telemarketer, but it quickly grew to other responsibilities. I had a lot of interest. I had a lot of insight. I had a lot of ideas. And Thai liked my ideas in a lot of situations and gave me the ability to be able to just run forward with different ideas that I had. When I had the idea to create the website, the web wasn't even a thing that was commonly known. Most people didn't even know what the internet was. And I remember I had to explain what the internet even was to him. And it was difficult to comprehend, because if you think about what life was like before the internet and someone trying to explain to you how it works, and not just how it works, but how as a company, we can leverage this as a tool to communicate to people. Because what I knew is that there are all kinds of people out there in the world that don't even know what Beanie Babies are out there. Like the glee that I was describing in that gift store that I went to. Most people didn't know how many Beanie Babies there were, what kinds of Beanie Babies were out there. And then once the poems came, what all the different poems were. So this was a way that we can communicate with people so they even know what they're looking for. Prior to the website, people just liked Beanie Babies and they were looking for these elusive Beanie Babies. But then through creating the website, now there was a tool that people can come to even find out what exists. Because when you think about the old days, how would you know that? I remember as a kid, I used to collect Lisa Frank stickers. I had no idea how many Lisa Frank stickers there were. I just know that when I saw one, I'm like, oh, cool, here's another one. But what kind of frenzy would it cause if I knew there are 100 stickers out there? How would that affect me? And how would that affect my journey as a collector? Now that I know that there's 100 out there and I know which ones there are, and oh my gosh, I got to get the unicorn with the rainbow. I need that one. It changes things. And that's what I saw. And that's what I developed.
So they gave you this corner office, said, okay, the web, whatever, internet, whatever that is, go do what you want to do, that kind of thing.
I had to demonstrate how it worked. So I created this ugly webpage. When you think early 1994 web pages, I remember in my head what it looked like, and it's not even something I would necessarily want to show people today because it was literally ugly. But what I did is I brought my computer from home, and DePaul University, I was a student at DePaul, they had provided the student body with modems. So I had a 14.4 modem, which is the first modem that existed. And I remember
I had one that was 300, so you're right.
I remember when we went from 14.4 to 28.8, we were like, the speed just doubled. It was so exciting. And so anyway, yeah, I brought my 14.4 modem in, connected everything on my home computer on the floor of an office that had a phone line and a plug in the same corner. And even figuring out how to plug this computer in at the Thai office was kind of a journey. Once I got it all connected and I was able to pull up this ugly web page that I made, I was able to bring Thai in, and I showed him this is what the internet is, and this computer can be anywhere in the world, and anywhere in the world you type in this address and it brings up the web page. And I remember the first draft of the web page was made. The first draft was made on the DePaul University server, because I had this ability to publish for publishing academic papers, because DePaul University wanted students to start publishing their papers. So what I did is I published a draft of what I thought Thai should be doing on the internet.
That's a terrific story. So
yeah,
history from there, right? How it grew, and I guess people were using Netscape back then, probably.
Oh yeah,
to browse
Netscape, yeah.
So
the Netscape 1.0, I remember it was Netscape 1.0. I used Photoshop 1.0. I mean, all the 1.0 programs is what I was using.
And take us to today. Now you are a mom. You have, I understand, a special needs child, an eighth grader as well, and so you're seeing things now with technology and women in technology. And I'm wondering what you would tell your daughter about this field today. And it has evolved, certainly.
She already has had her experiences. There's such a disparity of women in technology. Because she knows I work in technology, she was so excited when she was able to take a Lego robotics class, because it's a techie class, and her mother and her, to her, I'm like the goddess of tech, right? So she was super excited to take this class and see what she could do, and she was excited to be able to tell me about what she's creating and all of that. And I remember after 2 weeks she wanted to quit, because she said that the groups that they had, the class was broken up into small groups, and each group had 3 girls and 3 boys in it. And she said every group, the boys just took over, and the girls can't even give any ideas forward because the boys are basically taking over the group. And I was like, what? I was so I was like, oh my gosh, don't tell me that this is starting to happen in elementary school. And my experiences are pretty crazy as well. I've been to tech conferences where I was almost the only woman there. And my experience in a lot of ways is probably more than everybody combined. Yet these conferences are like frat parties in a lot of ways. And I remember at one party or one conference, they had like an after party, and I had somebody come up to me and tell me that the entertainers are supposed to check in at the back door, because they had go-go dancers there because it was all men, and that's kind of the thing that I was like, oh my gosh, it's crazy.
Right. And now you have another startup coming along. Tell me about this.
Yes, joii.ai. I'm really excited about it's joii.ai. And we have, a lot of information there on how it works. But essentially what we're doing is we're trying to address the social isolation and loneliness challenge that we are presented with right now in our nation and really the world. How technology has affected us to become so disconnected from our close friends and family. So I have found a way to leverage AI in order to foster those connections. And I'm really passionate about it because I really can see firsthand, just in understanding my journey in technology, as well as seeing now my child and how her relationship with technology started very early on. She got her first iPad when she was 3 years old, and just seeing the impact that technology has on us and seeing, where it's going. I'm really excited to be able to pose a solution to help us foster those social connections and get reconnected with the people that we care about the most.
And that's going to be coming later this year?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And how will it bring people together? Describe it a little bit for us, if you don't mind. Give us a taste.
Sure. So, a lot of people are talking about AI and how AI can resolve the social isolation and loneliness issue. And what a lot of people are coming up with as solutions are AI companions, which is a companion that is essentially an AI being. And to me, that is completely missing the mark. So me and my partner, Nitin Luthra, we developed this technology that allows a person to create a clone of themselves and identify maybe one or two close people to them that they may want to connect with, that they are not connected with. Like I have a cousin, I love my cousin, but we only talk like maybe once a month, and I wish we talked more. So in this, using this technology, my cousin would also have a clone that he's creating, and then our two clones would banter with each other in the style of us talking. So when I go back and I read these conversations that the AI is having, it will look just like me and my cousin having a conversation about our day, or having a conversation about what's going on and what's important to us. And what the goal is for these AI beings is to identify opportunities for us to connect. So like tonight, I'm going to go watch the Beanie Bubble movie. I'm pretty excited. The AI may know that my cousin is right there because the theater where the theater is located, my cousin works maybe like 10 minutes away. So it might tell my cousin, hey, Lina is going to be in town later tonight. Maybe you guys could grab a coffee and connect. And it would foster this connection that may not have happened otherwise.
So the app would have access, if you grant it, I'm sure, to your calendar and your daily routine, and be able to connect you with someone else that is close to you.
Yeah. It's focusing. It doesn't necessarily have to have the access. It happens from me just talking to my AI being. So my Digime, we call it a Digime. My Digime may text me in the morning and say, hey, what are you doing today? And I would say, hey, I'm going to go see the Beanie Bubble. I'm so excited. I'm going to Addison. And, that's how the AI knows that I'm going to Addison tonight. And the AI is connected with just the couple of people that I'm trying to connect with. So it could be my cousin, my brother, a couple of close friends. And it's just going to be trying to find opportunities of when our daily life is already crossing. So it's all about doing life things together.
Is there a website people can go to and wait for this to arrive?
Yeah, it's joii.ai, joii.ai. joii.ai. And we're looking for beta testers. So anybody can go in and sign up as a beta tester and just keep up with the progress. And we're excited about launching our first iteration of the product later this year.
Well, congratulations on your history and your continuing innovation. Lina Trivedi, thanks for spending time with us.
Yeah, thank you.